it strikes me as though you've got some people who don't have a clue what to do, and they're like, help me, I need everything done A to Z. You get some people in the middle who are like, I need some help. Like, we get the concept, we can draft it, we need feedback. And then you got other people who have some experience, they've had some success, and they're going to pretty much ride on their own and just use your tool.
Sure.
How do you support each one of these types of entities, people?
Right. So when it comes to those who are just on their own, they just come and use us like we're a platform and distribute releases and save a lot of money. Then there's those that need the writing, and so we'll work with them to write the press release. When it comes to the bigger stuff like the survey and stuff like that, we do not do the survey, but occasionally I will offer small groups where I can provide support to people on Zoom, brainstorm with them, and sort of help them along the process. And I do have free education where I help people on as to what strategic types of press releases they should be doing, like the survey, and sort of break it down for them. And for anybody that's interested in that, it's a good place to start. It's at eReleases.com/plan, PLAN, and there's no charge. It's a video with some accompanying material. The video is less than an hour long because I didn't want it to be like a 14-hour course that you had to drudge through. I wanted to break it down and just talk about the types of releases they should be focusing on. And all of these are in that 3% of press releases that do get picked up. And what I find is the people that go through that class and start brainstorming the types of releases that are appropriate for them, using those and do those they have more success than everybody else. Now, again, it's not a campaign of 6 to 8 releases. It's usually 2 or 3 that do really well. And, but that being said, I've had clients where one hit, is so successful. There was a company that makes waste management facilities, and they do nuts and bolts everything. They basically can come into a city that has no presence, and they're building out a waste management facility. They handle everything, including the recycling, everything, all the mechanics of it. And it's not cheap. And, they did a press release basically talking about what they do, and it got picked up in Waste Management News, which is like their trade publication. No big surprise there. But the big surprise for them was they got a call from Australia and said, hey, can you do this internationally? And they said, yeah, we do this routinely where we put it all on barges and ship it overseas. And we have people there that can put it all together and all of a sudden give you a facility. 3 facilities were set up in Australia. I think it was over $40 million in business from just one $350 press release. And so, if you hit the right audience, it really only takes, one hit to really make a huge difference. And, the type of things that happens is when people read earned media, they don't get that shutdown that happens when they see an ad. They usually get excited. There's a signal of trust. When a journalist chooses to write about you, it's almost like social proof or an implied endorsement. And so people get excited about it. They want to do business with you. I'm guilty of this. I've seen blog posts and articles about a Kickstarter campaign, and it's like, I'm not really needing this product, but I've seen their frustration in the article about how they just wanted someone else to adapt a product to just fit this niche, and no one did. And so finally they had to dig in and find somebody to make a die and produce it in China and all this stuff. And you're like, okay, I'm going to, back them. It's $45. Why not?